because I want to respect Sandra and Bianca's time because they're taking time out of their family time as well as their day to come and talk to you guys. So I know that I'm going to kind of talk to you guys both together so that because the questions that I have for you guys, I think really you guys will kind of play off each other really, really well. So I'm going to introduce you guys here in just a little bit. Just a reminder again, your workbook that you've had all along that you can download. If you still need it, there's the QR code. This is day 4. So hopefully you have downloaded it by now. The 2 chefs that I want to introduce you to is Chef Sandra Wave.
Hello.
This is Chef Sandra. She owns a company called Fresh from the Gardens. And then we have Bianca. Bianca is here as well, and she owns a company called About the Table. They both are 2 of my coaching clients who have been with me for a very long time. They both know that, and I'll get through this, they are way more than coaching clients to me. So one of the reasons that I'm bringing both of you on today is because whenever I've done your full, or when we do your full VIP day, there's something that I always take you guys through, and a section of that is money. And we always pull out these money holes. And I just did this. I went to where Bianca is over in Delaware because she's got a little one. And it's a lot harder for her to come to me. And then Sandra actually lives here in Dallas. So she came to me for this. So the question I want to ask first and foremost is, how long did you, and this is not meant to offend, this is meant to kind of emphasize. Either the question is, how long did you hide from your numbers, and when in business did you really realize that it was going to kind of bite you in the butt? Or when did you realize that you really need to get a control of your numbers and hire a bookkeeper and profit and loss and all of those things? So Sandra, we're going to go ahead and start with you. Just kind of a guess of when that happened. How long were you in business, and what was the catalyst, if you remember?
Well, I've been in business for quite some time, and Deb has helped me grow my business amazingly past 6 figures. But even with that, there are things and holes that you sometimes you don't even realize that you have, but you know you need to take a closer look. And I've been one of those people who has not been on top of my numbers as I should have, and have realized over the last year or so how really seriously important that is, because I knew that there are pits, and that's the very thing that Deb and I talked about when we got together. And we just, Deb will walk you through and, I mean, seriously break down every detail until she figures it out. And that's what we did. And we found, I'm looking at my number, Deb, it's $1,936.
Oh, is that how much we found?
And those areas were the areas that, you've listed here, which are the credit card fees. And that's one of the things that I tell you, you just kind of just don't think about. And I don't know why I didn't think that was something that I'd be getting reimbursed for, or said, Deb, I think you're kind of like, oh, well, I don't want to step on any toes or whatever, but forget that. I mean, this is money that I'm due and should have. And so I've corrected that process, and that was one of the big things. And then the other 2 were grocery reimbursement and really figuring out how to calculate that and add money to the bottom line so you're not hurting yourself there. And then the other one is staff overlap with job, and really, really being clear on the job descriptions. And through this process, and I'm saying it kind of quickly, but we kind of really broke that down and went into detail. And when we did, I saw the holes that were there. And I will just say it took longer than it should have taken. And as you're working on your businesses, don't make that mistake. I mean, take a look at those things early on in your business, and don't wait as long as I waited.
Okay. Thank you, Sandra. I'm going to have another question here for you shortly. Bianca, the same question.
I think for me, I didn't really start taking your numbers seriously until like a couple years into business. When I first started, which was be 9 years ago now, I'm like one woman show. I'm like, I'm just trying to get anything, any kind of business. And it's not until I think I became a little bit more established and more confident in myself. And then maybe I was checking numbers like, is my grocery cost in line and all of these things, like maybe it was once a year. And it wasn't, I think, until I started doing really growing, having a staff, doing multiple clients a week, you know, all of that kind of stuff, really, really growing. And I try, that's keyword is try, to check in with my numbers, you know, maybe it's once a quarter now. That sounds, I don't do it as often as that. So, but I try just to really stay in touch, because the more business that we're doing, the more disconnect I can feel, because I have so much going on. So I didn't take it as seriously, I think, in the beginning when I first started. Now, grown to a point where we have a staff cooking for multiple clients, cooking multiple days a week, like all that kind of stuff. You value the importance of it. And I definitely attempt and would underscore that it's definitely more an important task or job to do way more frequently.
Okay. Could you share with them whenever we met at your house, do you remember what that number was that we found you?
Yep. 1652.
Okay.
So $1,652 a month more. And I don't know if you want me to tell exactly where it came from now, or if that was.
No, go for it. Go ahead, because they need to learn from you guys.
Absolutely, yeah, for sure. So number one was increasing my chef fees. I had not increased my chef fees since 2020. So it was 2 years that I didn't increase my chef fees. So that was number one. And that's really for new clients coming in. So any new clients that we onboard, they're at a higher price point, higher chef fee. The biggest one for me was adding a delivery fee. I was like nervous to be honest, to ask my current clients for more money. When I put my big girl panties on, I'm like recouping more like $800 a month in delivery fees alone. I sent out an email. Now, of course, it's standard for any new client who onboards, but to ask all my present clients for a delivery fee, I sent out, the way that I did it was I reached out personally to one by one. I sent out an email. I like hit send. I was sweating. I was like, so I can't believe I'm doing this. That's
real. That's real.
Real. I was very nervous. Not one client gave me pushback. Everyone either said that's totally understandable, I totally get it, or maybe they didn't reply at all. But I know that they got that email. I know that it was received. And obviously since then it's been in their invoices and it's been charged, and not one client has had anything to say negatively or pushback at all.
Oh, was that me or Bianca?
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I can hear you.
Okay. I know my internet might be a little unstable. The other thing for me was adding in grocery reimbursement to first pantry staples. Yes. That was a bigger thing. I thought that I was doing it, but then when Deb and I really worked together and we broke it down, I wasn't recouping as much as I needed. So that was another thing. So that's where the places that I found them for me.
Okay, thank you for that. That was actually really helpful to be that vulnerable, because so many times when we're on calls like this and we just think that we should know it, and we don't want to share with people that that we're scared to do stuff, and that takes a really big mindset shift. So thank you for sharing that. Sandra, I'm going to kind of ask you the same question. How did your clients feel about it whenever you kind of got over the fear and said, I'm just charging you this? how did they respond, one, and how did you get over the fear, two?
Well, well, back to what Bianca was saying about the increasing the grocery costs. I did the same thing, increasing the chef fee. Surprisingly, two people said, "Well, we're surprised you hadn't done it before now." And so
Yeah.
my internet may be coming in and out, but it's the same thing, Bianca, as Bianca said, so afraid to do it, but you're hesitant to just like push that button and go and do it. But surprisingly, everybody knows that the grocery costs are going up, that the cost of living and everything else has risen, and they expect it. And I think that we're afraid that they're not going to, but it was well received.
Okay. So thank you for that. And did you have fear around doing it because so many times I get pushback of, I don't want to nickel and dime them to death.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about how you got over that fear.
I did have fear. I'm thinking, no, I haven't been charging them. What are they going to say? Is it, are they going to say that, we don't want to pay this fee or just that? I just had to make a decision that it was in my best interest for the business to do that, because I wasn't going to get that money any other way. So,
It's true.
yeah, I was actually scared, but the bottom is and Deb is very good at making you think through, this is a business you're running. You're not just doing this because this is fun. You really want to make a fun.
Yeah.
And these areas that you got to focus on those areas and take the plunge and not be afraid to do it. But yeah, but it's a little nervous at first, but once you do it and you get the feedback and they say, "Oh, it's okay, it's okay."
Everybody I've ever asked to do this, because I have another coaching client, her name is Ruth, out in Lexington. When she was here for her day, I think we found almost $3,000 for her. And it's fascinating whenever you do it, because she had the same fear. She'd been in business for a very long time, and she was like, how are they going to respond? I can tell you, and what I want you guys to hear, Bianca just said it, Sandra said it, I hear it all the time, Ruth said it, no one pushes back. But the thing about it is now that I said that, somebody's going to call me, email me, or Facebook message me and say, well, they pushed back. Here's the deal. What you need to know on that is everybody on this call serves a hiring clientele. I am going to assume so, looking at who you are, what I know you to do in business. The thing about it is, if people start pushing back, then I need you to ask yourself if they were an ideal client to begin with. Mm-hmm. So many times we keep clients for the sake of money, but we give so much more that if you would just clear that energy and kind of fire them, then what happens is 100% of the time, you get really great clients in that will pay you what you're worth. And that's scary, especially the first time you fire a client. I'm kind of proud to say I've fired a lot of clients. I have a famous line that says, I think another chef would be better suited for your discerning needs. Let me find you one. Mm-hmm. So it is kind of scary. So my next question is, and Bianca, this is for you, and then Sandra, I will go to you, is I actually have two. The first one is, let's start with this one. The first one is how do you make it easy for you to go back and make sure you're on track with your numbers and these holes? How do you make it easy? Because even as long as I've been in business, I still have a tendency to go, it's profit and loss time. So, I mean, it's human nature, because while we love making money, we don't necessarily love analyzing it. That's not what we got into this business for. So how do you as a business owner make it easy for you to want to do this every month, or however often you do it?
Yeah, and like I said, it definitely, I really try to stay in touch with that. And if that's doing it once a quarter, it's really committing the time to set aside. And I also have, like, if you will, like a cheat sheet that I've learned these numbers from Deb, meaning it's like it lives somewhere on my computer that I pull it up, and it's like, okay, grocery costs should be between this percentage in running my business. This is what my overhead percentage should be. This is what, so I kind of pull that up and then I run my numbers. I'm like, am I in line, you know, with this? And then what changes do I kind of need to make? And we go from there. So having that cheat sheet helps make it easy for me in the sense that like I don't have to remember or the math that I have to do, what I'm like dividing my total sales income by this and that, you know, like if math was my strong suit, I would be in a different line.
You'd be a baker.
Yes, exactly. Touche. So I have that everything that I need to do, how I find those numbers and that kind of thing. So it makes it a little less daunting to do. And all of that stuff I've learned from Deb's workshops and working with you.
Okay. Thank you for that. I've got one other that I can't forget, but I want to ask Sandra the same thing is, how do you motivate yourself? How do you make sure that you do it? How do you stay on top of it?
Well, one thing to do is, even though I have a CPA and I get the reports, is you have to look at it. You have to sit down and make yourself look at it. And we had this call, this one of our meetings, and a lot of us don't understand the numbers enough to make yourself sit down and do that. I had to force myself to learn that and want to do that. And that's what I've started doing, is just now when I get those reports, I look at them with a whole new eyes, because is my internet going out? It says it's unstable. Can y'all still hear me?
No, you're good. You're good. Yeah, you're good.
And so now that I will be honest that I'm just now really, really honed in on understanding what those numbers mean and how my business is affected by those numbers and where I need to be looking. So I'm doing that now on a regular basis, whereas before I really was not. So I would say, if you don't have a P&L, and it's first, you need to have some way to look at your numbers. And I had it and wasn't doing it because I didn't understand it. And it's one of those fear things. Sometimes you don't understand something, so you just don't do it. And so I've changed that whole thought process, and now I'm in the numbers and understanding it a lot more than I used to. And it's made a huge difference. So there you go.
Okay. Thank you. And also thanks for admitting too, for as long as you've been in business, that you're just kind of still now getting comfortable with it. Because I think people need to hear that too, that this is not something you have to have down, and it's not something that's just perfect. Like it's all such a learning curve for everything that we do in business. I personally put it in my calendar on the 15th of every month and set an alarm as a date. So I schedule it just like I would to be on a strategy call or a mastermind call or do a teaching call. It is scheduled in my calendar and I block out time for it. It still doesn't mean that I necessarily love it, but the thing about it is I always go back and I use everything that we've been talking about over the past 4 days, and I continue to go back and find money each and every time that I do it. So is staying on top of it is what is so important. Last question that I have for you guys, then they may have some as well, because I want to keep you guys, I don't want to take it. The question is, and I'll start with Bianca and then I'll go to Sandra, is what's the first step you took? Because when you learn about all this stuff and there's all these different things you can do, what was the very first step that you took in order to fill these holes, know your numbers, anything about that? Do you remember what that was?
I do.
Bianca?
Yeah. When I first started, all of my numbers, believe it or not, were in an Excel spreadsheet, and I was data entering every single thing. Then I came into the light and I got QuickBooks and or some kind of, software system. You need that. I know that that's probably a little bit more common sense maybe now to some, but it wasn't to me when I first started. It was an extra cost that I had to pay and all of these things and the fees or whatever that might be associated with it. But that was the number one. It was absolutely getting some type of accounting software And then really going in and creating, itemizing that. It was going in and putting in line item, groceries go here and all of that kind of stuff. So that when you do run that P&L that's auto generated through a report like this, it's all there for you. It takes a lot of the guesswork out of it. So, and then I grew to have, a CPA, a bookkeeper kind of going in there and, making it look like all nice and pretty and all of that. But you still have to be confident and know kind of what you're doing. And just to echo Sandra's point, because I really do think that it was important. I really related to it before. What she said was, once I understood them and learned them, I didn't start out in business knowing all how to do this either. So I 100% agree with that statement. Is once I learn it and I really know what I'm looking at, and understand, if you have rent or whatever in a kitchen, what your overhead should be at. If you have employees, those were growing pains for me personally, starting out as a one-woman show to having a team. So
Thank you. Sandra, same question. How'd you start? How did that work for you? What's the first step you took?
Well, first thing is realizing that I need to switch from the system that I was having to get onto QuickBooks and to get onto something that you can look at and understand and do that first. And then figuring out, like the little things is where do you need to change line items? Like grocery reimbursement should be a line item on there, and it wasn't. And trying to figure and just learning that, I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize some of those things. But mine is like Bianca said, is you got to have a system to work with. And for me, that's making the decision to switch over to something that is more manageable, something that you can understand and make sense and read, and then pay attention to every that's coming through. You look at it so much differently. And so that's what I've been doing. So.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to, because I know that you guys, I want to respect your time. So if anybody wants to unmute yourself and either ask Sandra or Bianca a question, please go ahead and unmute yourself and ask them whatever you want to ask them. And then we will go ahead and let them go. Does anybody have any questions for them? And Heather, I can't really see the whole screen because of my PowerPoint. So do you have questions?
I'm watching.
Okay. All right. I'm not going to keep everybody here longer. If you guys do decide that you have questions, and even if you're listening to this recording as well, you guys all have my email. It's deb@chefdeb.com. I will definitely forward it to Sandra and Bianca so that they can get your questions answered as well. So thank you guys for coming on today, and go back and spend time with your families.
Thank you for inviting us.
yeah, thank you so much.
Okay.
Good to see you.
Bye, guys.
Good luck, everybody.
Thank you.
Businesses.
Hi, Sandra. Bye, Bianca.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Okay. One of the reasons why I just kind of want to share with you guys when I work with other chefs, just to kind of give you guys a little bit more encouragement too. When I work with other chefs and culinary business owners, not everybody I work with calls themselves a chef. These are just some of the things that they said. Is I've often been told this knowledge has made a major difference in my business. I mean, look how much money that they found. Not only did it pay for many of them to go into a commercial kitchen, it paid for another employee, it paid for coaching, it paid for an investment in their business. So it was found money for them. I often hear, I had no idea I had so many money leaks. Well, the thing I want to say about that is all of us are intuitive business owners, or we just wouldn't be in business. And you know that there's a little voice nagging inside of you that says, I really need to look at my numbers. Something isn't right. How much money am I actually making? And then again, I've had people say, holy hell, I don't actually suck. Like maybe they're doing everything right and we found them just a few $100s. But the biggest one that I really love is whenever I get this one of this means I can finally give myself a raise. And what's so cool about that statement is that if they can finally give themselves a raise, that means they can give themselves a raise pretty much for the entire amount that we found if they want to, because they're doing fine in business. People are happy, their business is running well, and this found money now means that they get a raise, or maybe they get to start taking a draw for the very first time, and this business does not feel like such an expensive hobby. So the other thing that people have often said to me is, hey, you just found money for coaching. Well, what I want you guys to know is I just found you your monthly payment for your Sharpen membership if you want to join. Okay. You like how we just kind of threw that in there? Janice happens to be in our membership, aren't you, Janice? Shake your head. Yay, Janice. We actually have quite a few people in our Sharpen membership.
Yes.
So here's the deal. I see your little one behind you. That's okay. So
My
here's the
grandson.
deal. Is your grandson?
Yes.
That's so awesome. That's so cool. You can run business and do business with him here. That's what we're all about. I'm so happy to see that. You're kind of the epitome of everything that we talk about. So if you guys are interested in the Sharpen membership, if you're here on the call or you're listening to the recording, you guys have heard about it all the way through. One of the things that I've said is I have one-on-one coaching, and then I also have a membership offering. This membership is a place for business owners like you to get consistent, reliable support. You get resources to run your business, and you get a community that is incredibly supportive around you. I do not allow butt heads in my community. One of the things that you need to understand, the resources are things like this go into the resources. So if you found value in this presentation, think about having 5 to 7 years of recordings just like this in there, plus job postings and marketing plans you can pull down and expert speaking calls, all kinds of things. It truly has everything you need to scale your business as long as you participate. If Sharpen membership is something that's important to you, and it sounds like it's something that you want to do, guys, I'm about to tell you that the resources you get and the community that you have and access that you have, I'm about to kind of show you a stupid cheap price that you're going to be pretty shocked about. So outside of getting to rub elbows with the community of food business owners who understand your business and live it daily, I also pay for expert speakers to come in and help you grow your area or some area of owning your own culinary business. It could be somebody that will teach on social media. It will teach about opt-ins for your website. It could be somebody that talks about helping you grow your business from a numbers perspective, how to even start on social media, how to make a Facebook ad convert, how to get more clients around your brand, all of those things. What is not offered anyplace else, and I have never seen before, is you can come on a group call with my marketing team. You met Heather, you met Emily, and then also Kelly, who you have not met, does all of my social media. They can help you in real time. All you have to do is show up to the call. And if you can't, it's recorded. If you can't come to the expert speaker call, it's okay, it's recorded. I also come on live and I do training sessions with you guys. And I will answer also all food related questions, food business related questions. This is your time to, or one of the many ways you can get your questions answered for being in business. You're not alone anymore. Not only do you have a way to ask questions whenever you need to ask questions, but you have a group of people who have been there, done that, and will strongly support you. You have a marketing team on a monthly call at your fingertips, and I bring in speakers that you could never afford on your own to ask them questions. You get access to them. And I come on and do a teaching call as well once a month. that you can also ask questions of also. The community that you join is so amazing that there's also access to a membership portal that you can go in and ask a question anytime that you need to as well in a discussion section. You have so much support in this. Here's some of the other things that I kind of alluded to before is you have a growing resource library of templates, of guides, of cheat sheets. Like I said, my marketing plans are in there to grow businesses. Other people's job descriptions and postings are in there. I put grant opportunities and funding in there. You have accountability groups, which I talked about, that when you come on a group call, everyone there is support you. If you need to know how to market your business, my marketing team even sends you bite-sized marketing ideas. If you need a la carte services, if you need a logo redone, your website refreshed, if you need a Facebook ad run, we don't do those for free, but we offer those services in-house as well. Many of our coaching clients use them. What you need to understand is this is absolutely a no BS community of business owners. They will love you, they will support you, but they will certainly call you on it if you are not doing what you say you're going to do. This is what you need to know, is one of the reasons why I do this workshop before we launch this out to the general public, which is going to happen after this, is you have until now, up until Sunday, September the 4th, and the price is $119 a month. That's it. I told you it was a stupid reasonable price for everything that you get. $119 a month. This is something that you take advantage of after this. I promise you it's going to be $154 a month. I have to go up because I always add things every single year. And this only opens twice a year is when I open my membership, twice a year and twice a year only. And we always add other things to it. If it's something you're interested in, and for those of you guys that are listening and may not be necessarily near your computer and on a phone, all you have to do is go to chefdeb.com / or / I never remember what that is, whatever that little slash thing is, FAST, FAST. So chefdeb.com and then the slash thing and then FAST. So I just want to remind you, $154 if you sign up outside of this workshop. We like to reward people for showing up, and you guys have shown up, or at least listen to the recording. And we've kind of gotten to know each other pretty well as well. If you decide to sign up by Sunday, is you need to remember that I'm actually going to give you 2 bonuses. This is kind of, okay, guys, wait, listen. This is but wait, there's more. Okay, but wait, there's more. Okay, here's what happens. Not only are you going to get something called the Sharpen 2020 Live Session Bundle. What this is last year Sharpen, you had about 50 culinary business owners from all over this country and Canada that came together, and they worked on their business. They did worksheets. I brought in speakers. They listened to me. They worked in small groups. They did all of those things. It was all recorded. By the time they were done, what they did is they were able to create their goals for the next 6 months. This recording we have sold over and over again. You get it for free as a part of this. If you listen to this, it will take you 2 days, but you can stop and start whenever you want to and do the worksheets. You will be shocked at the amount of money you're going to find, how much money you're going to make, and you will have your goals for the next 6 months. I take you all through it. Guys, this recording cost me a lot of money, and you get it for free. The other thing that we're going to do is a group call on how to get clients instantly, when it hits the fan. This is one, I actually gave this presentation over and over and over again at many different chef conference venues. It has always been one of the biggest, most attended workshops that I have done. And it's how to get clients instantly. So pandemic hits, your employees walk out, you decide to leave your spouse. I'm not saying leave your spouse, whatever that is. If you need clients instantly, I'm going to take you through a step-by-step approach of anytime you need clients, regardless of the situation, you'll be able to get clients instantly, no matter what your situation is. Nobody is going to get these bonuses whenever this hits the general public. Okay. Here's the thing that you need to know, and it's actually on the next slide. It's one of my favorite slides, actually. Let me get this slide. Reasons to sign up. If you want consistent income, which I know many of you guys struggle with, if you want to dip your toe in the world of coaching, you want to finally have a supportive community and have better resources to run your business, this is what all this is offering you. Plus you get calls, plus you get access to a community, plus you get access to resources that you can view anytime you want to. You get access to a marketing team as well. You're not going to find that anywhere for this price point. Here's my favorite slide. You ready? People have actually gotten mad at me for this slide. Okay, here it is. Here's all the reasons why I do not want you to sign up, because I have learned my lessons if people are not ready. If you are ultra sensitive and you need sugar coating, I am not your girl. Never will be, not gonna be. There's people out there that can do that for you. If you're ultra sensitive and you need sugar coating, at some point I will probably hurt your feelings, and that is not my goal in all of this. The other thing that you need to know is if you join and don't do the work, but then you blame others for your lack of success, please don't sign up. I will have a whole bunch of people pissed off at me in this community. If you wallow in struggles and spin in circles, there's a good visual representation as to insert a tutu here. Seriously, if you wallow in your same stuff and you have been in the same place for year after year and you don't plan to change that, do not do this to my community. Because what you need to understand is this is not about me. I created these coaching programs because I couldn't find the resources I need. Yes, we will talk. However, I owe it to the rest of the people that have decided to give me their hard-earned money to make sure that you do your job as well. If you have an unsupportive spouse or partner, I do not fight them. I will not win. And if you are just absolutely unwilling to change or improve, please don't join this. You will waste your money and you will waste everybody else's time. Here's some of the common objections that I often hear. It's just not the right time. You know what? It's probably not ever going to be the right time because there is always a reason. I'm just way too busy. Well, praise Jesus. Maybe you can come teach us something about that then. Great. I can do this all by myself. Absolutely, you can. It just depends upon what your goals and your visions are. Because remember, what got you here is not going to get you there. You don't know my business. You're right, I don't, but I want to get to know your business. But I have owned just about every business that can possibly be owned in culinary, and I have paid my dues. I love you to death, but you're not a special snowflake. I promise you, we can grow your business. If I just put my nose to the grindstone, I'll get there eventually. You're right, it just depends upon the speed, because I'm giving you gasoline and I'm giving you a race car. And it also depends on the ulcers you want along the way. It's too expensive. I'm not even going to address that one. I've invested in a membership before and it didn't work out. Probably not. I don't know why. I don't have that answer. What I do know is there's proof that this one does. So again, what got you here will not get you there. I want to remind you, fast action bonuses until September 4th is $119 a month, not $154 a month. You get that live session bundle. You can grow your entire business and never speak to a soul if you listen to those recordings on the live session bundle and a group call with me on how to get clients instantly. Whether it hits the fan or not, it works every single time. chefdeb.com, and again, that's slash the word fast, FAST. So if you have any questions about the membership or any questions about the content, all you have to do is unmute yourself now and ask, and I'll answer them, and I'll stay here with you until all your questions are answered. If you have questions after this, make sure to email me at deb@chefdeb.com. Here's what I'm going to ask, though. Happens every single time I do this. It is, you guys remember what day we said? September 4th. It is September 5th at 12:01 a.m. and I get an email. Oh, Deb, my internet went out. My dog ate my homework. I was out of town. I didn't have my phone. Whatever, fill in the blank. I'm going to tell you no, because it's not fair to anybody else that signed up when they were supposed to. You can sign up, but it's going to be $154 a month or $45 or whatever it is that we said. Okay.
Deb,
So-
Brenda asked a question. How long is the membership?
4.
How long is it? So are you asking if you have to sign a contract?
No, I'm asking like because when we sign up, you have to pay 115 a month for how long? For a year, every month, for 3, 4, forever, or what? How does this work?
There's not a contract. We bill you monthly. You can stop with 30 days notice.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering.
Great question. We should probably make a slide about that because I totally forgot about that. So great question.
That's what I'm here for, to help you.
So what I heard you say is you're going to stay here with us and join the membership so that you can help me. That's what I heard.
Yes.
Got it on video. Okay, got it. Love that.
Maybe.
Okay. Here's where you can find me. You guys know I have my website. That is my Facebook handle. That is my office number. You have my direct email at deb@chefdeb.com. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop share. And if you have questions about the membership, please let me know. Are there any other questions?
How often are these Zoom classes? The Zoom call.
So we end up having, there's an expert speaker call, and then the marketing call, and then the teaching call. You end up with about 3 every month. And then on top of that, you also have what I call the portal. That's probably not the word I'm supposed to be using, where kind of all things membership are held, where you have all those topics, all those resources, and then also the discussion where you can ask questions anytime and get answers anytime as well, from not only membership people, but also from coaching people as well. So you have people in there that are, I don't work with startups. So most of the time, people that are in there, if they're in this program, they've been in business for a few years, they have some clients under their belt, they're just trying to get to the next level. Or I have all the way up to my $1 million business owners and up that are there to answer your questions as well. Again, after this, if you have questions, just email deb@chefdeb.com. So, Brenda, do you have any other questions? No?
Nope.
Okay.
Hey, Deb,
Janice.
what
Yes.
is the phone number again? Janice asked. I'll put it in the chat.
Okay, put it in the chat. Because I'm like, okay, Janice, I'm gonna have to share my screen again. Then I'm gonna try to go back to the slide. And then I'm gonna have
I'll
to...
put it in the chat.
Okay, thanks.
Janice, if you have a question too, I mean, I'm gonna tell you that you've received emails from me, and my
Always.
cell phone number's on my signature line.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So,
I get
Yeah.
emails all the time. All right.
yeah. And if you can't find it, email me and we'll probably just get on a call. Brenda, do you
Okay.
have something?
Nope.
Awesome. Okay. Anything else, ladies, before we shut down this call? And gentlemen, if you're listening.
Happy Labor Day.
Oh, thank you. Happy Labor Day. I just want to say, when you're listening to this recording, and even for you guys on the call, thank you for taking 4 days out of your business and out of your lives to grow your business. You have to understand, I have a huge responsibility that I never want to waste your time and I never want to waste your money. And the fact that you guys have stayed on the call, listened to this recording and pulled yourself away an hour a day for the past 4 days really says a lot to who you are as a business owner. And so you guys know how to continue your growth and continue the conversation. I've given you all those ways to do that in the membership, and then also a way to purchase it, and then a way to ask questions. So thank you guys for being with me over the past 4 days.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. Bye, everybody.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.